Hello, welcome to White Birch Tarot and Astrology. This is a romance and relationship reading for Earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Please check your sun, moon, and rising, and I usually check my Venus and Mars also. If you know it. If you don't know it, I'll try to remember to leave my email address in the comments, and I can help you find that on astro.com. It's free. Anyway, I wanted to do some romance readings and some just relationship readings because the other readings have been so heavy lately. And so I did the fire signs a couple nights ago, and it was kind of heavy and strange. And now these are for the earth signs, and it's really weird. I can't get away from it. So if you have planets in Taurus, you are in good aspect to most of the outer planets except Pluto. You're in a square to Pluto, which is rather uncomfortable. Pluto's the planet of death, transformation, and rebirth. But you're in good aspect to like Saturn in the north nodes and Pisces and Venus, who rules relationships, and Neptune in Aries. However, if you have planets in Taurus, you've had Uranus, the planet of sudden change, moving through for quite a while. I should write down the dates. It's been a while though, because Uranus moves slowly. And if you have planets in Virgo and Capricorn, you're in not great aspect to, no, I said, wait a minute. Okay, hold on. If you have planets in, well, it depends. You're in good aspect to the planets in Pisces if you're Capricorn, and if it's Virgo energy, then you're opposite. So it's a mixed bag right now. But I'll tell you what, the readings are really strange right now, and I think it's because we have Saturn, who rules Capricorn, and Father Time and Karma and all that, at the tail end of Pisces, the last sign of the zodiac, conjunct the north nodes at the, towards the end of Pisces. And we have Neptune, the ruler of Pisces, at the beginning of Aries, starting a new cycle. And it's a very, very strange and intense time for all of us. Truly it is. It's like the closing out of something and the beginning of something new, no matter who you are, but especially if you have planets at the beginning of Aries, or the tail end of Pisces, or the beginning of Aquarius where Pluto is, or the tail end of Taurus. But really almost any sign right now is going to be feeling strange things. So having said that, this is for the earth signs. And what I wanted was just some lighthearted, you're going to meet a tall, dark stranger, or if you want a short, light stranger, I don't know. But I get this really weird mixed bag. And honestly, this is one of the strangest readings I've ever seen. Really, it's interesting, and I'm not sure. I keep looking at it. It's kind of like it goes opposite, up and down, and yet these two go together, then these two go together, then it's just weird. So I'm just going to start. I have no idea where we're going to end up. It's really interesting. Anyway, this is the Liz Green Mythic Tarot. So we start out with the Knight of Wands, which is followed by the Eight of Wands. Okay, very similar energy here. So the Knight of Wands comes charging in. Looks like he's ready to, I think there's an arrow in this poor, I don't know what that is, but something on my screen here. Whoops. Now I just, okay, put it back where it was. So we get some energy of I want to move. This can be us getting our fire up. It can also be an exciting person who's very fiery coming in. I think it's us because it comes with the Eight of Wands, which is movement, travel, energy, adventure. You could actually literally be moving to a different place, different house. So we get some real fire energy. This could be Neptune and Venus in Aries. Chiron is also there, the wounded healer. Okay, but here's the thing. So we get that, and then we get Pentacles after that. Earth, Four of Pentacles, Sun in Capricorn, holding on to what you've got, feeling very conservative, not in a political sense, but in a financial sense, not wanting to make a move. followed by the Seven of Pentacles, which is carefully considering your next move and what you've been working on. Like, do I want this or don't I? And since I was thinking about relationships and romance, and again, this is all kinds of relationships, not just romance, friendships, family, whatever. If you're already in a relationship. So we have like this really fast moving, you know, lustful, adventurous fire energy, followed by some very cautious pentacle energy. I was like, okay, hold off here. Then I drew the Hanged Man. I'm like, what? Okay, I thought we were moving. Now he comes right under. A lot of times my readings go up and down. And this is kind of a roller coaster reading. So we have the Knight of Wands. I think these are together, actually, now that I think about it. Underneath him is the Hanged Man, who is stuck. Okay, this can be self-sacrifice. It can also be being forced to wait for something and having to have faith. It's about trusting. But it's also about feeling powerless and being okay with that, learning to be okay with that, which is the opposite of this guy coming in. He's in total control, and he's like, yeah, you know, I'm going to do whatever I want. I'm on an adventure. So that's why I feel like it's almost like a mirror reading. I pulled some shadow cards, but I'm feeling like, why bother when we got the shadow right below it? So I kind of feel like we're being pulled in two directions at once. And I think that's the Pisces Aries thing going on, where we have Saturn in the North Node still in Pisces, closing out old karmic cycles, and Neptune and Venus and Chiron in Aries, starting something new. So I think it's both. I think we're in the process of closing out the old, and there's something that's just kind of stuck that we just have to wait for. But this is coming in, and we feel it coming, and we want this. But we're kind of stuck here for a while. But that doesn't mean we can't be waiting for this or even planning for it. But it's a real roller coaster. Because then, you know, we got the Eight of Wands, as I said, which is movement ahead. Look what's below that, the Eight of Cups. We get two eights. And this is walking away from something and closing something out. Even if it's something you did not want to let go of. You realize now, I have to walk away from this situation, this feeling. It can be grieving. It can be deciding something isn't right for you. Whatever it is, if it's a relationship, it's something that you're walking away from. And again, you may not want to, but you need to. So there's a feeling of, I want to leave, and yet I don't want to leave. I know. It's a real mirror reading. And again, the Four of Pentacles is clinging on to something. And it can be just being safe, like, you know, holding on to your money and being frugal and all that. But I get a real kind of more of a, you know, a tight feeling with this, that he's like, you know, don't grab my pentacles. Because below it, we have kind of the opposite. We have the Nine of Pentacles, where he knows he has everything he needs. And he sets them out here. He's not afraid someone's going to run by and grab one. He's like, I got plenty. I'm fine. I have a solid sense of self-identity. I know who I am. I know what I have, and I have enough. Got grapes all over. Well, this guy's got grapes too, but he's got more of a scarcity consciousness, and this guy's got a fruitful consciousness. What do they call that? Like abundance, you know? So these are opposites again. I feel like opposite, opposite, opposite. So there's a part of us that wants, and honestly, I felt like this should be up here and that should be down here, because these three go together, but somehow this ended up down here. But anyway, it's like part of us wants to, I'm not going to say run away, but really wants a change, is ready for a change, a massive, big change. You're like, I just want to run away. And part of us is saying, no, I can't go. I'm stuck. I have to stay here for this other person, or I have to take care of business, or, you know, I'm mourning something. You know, I have to sacrifice myself. This doesn't look clear. I'm going to put this back up here. I know these cards are really tall, but that's more clear. So there's a real push-pull going on here, and I'm not sure I understand it. Excuse me. And in fact, I even drew some clarifiers. Okay, so we have holding on, feeling confident that you have everything. Then, as I said, we have this summing up like, do I want this? He's like, I have enough pentacles on the pillar. I don't have room for any more, but she's offering me this really nice pentacle, and, you know, I like pentacles. And he's thinking, you know, do I need to keep going with this project or start something new? Now, look what's below it, because this is a hesitancy. Six of Cups. The nostalgia, the longing for what's gone. She's not moving. She is staying still here. Even though the cups are empty, she doesn't want to leave. She's grieving, okay? So I think these two cards, I don't know why they're at the end here. It's kind of like we got movement, you know, holding on, reassessing, and then I'm stuck, but I know who I am, but I'm grieving. It's a mixed bag here, but it's kind of like a roller coaster. It's almost like something happened that caused you to grieve and reassess everything, and you want to move away from it, and yet you don't want to let it go at the same time. So I asked for clarifiers. I asked for a clarification on Six of Cups, and I get the Three of Swords, which makes perfect sense because this is about lancing a boil. It's like, yeah, they're stabbing a man, but he needed to be stabbed in this deck. It's about having a wound, and you have to let the stuff out so that it can heal. It's about healing, which is the Six of Cups in a way too. She's grieving, and you got to do that before you can heal. So then I was a little mixed up. I was like, okay, I noticed here we had all wands and pentacles and cups, one cup, no swords, until I drew a clarifier, Three of Swords. So then I said, give me an overall energy reading, energy card, and I get another sword, Queen of Swords. So she's telling us to think logically and be in control of our emotions, but not to get, let's see, how does Liz Green put it? This is Liz Green's deck. Let's see if she can give me any insight into this specific Queen of Swords. Clinging and to any move. Oh, no, I typed this wrong. I was speaking into a microphone that came out wrong. Demanding superhuman perfection of others or oneself, being strong and idealistic. Yeah. But it's about, okay, so we have the ups and downs. We have lots of passion, desire to move, and then some clinging to old hurts. And the Eight of Cups and the Six of Cups are kind of similar. Something's gone, something's lost. You have to learn to walk away from it and not sacrifice yourself. So I think she's telling us to take and find an even balance between all of this fire and the cups, because fire and water don't go together, but the earth and the water go together. So I know this is a very mixed bag. So I think overall, what am I trying to say? Overall, I think it's kind of a roller coaster, almost like a teeter-totter. Do you know what that is? Do you know what I mean? Do you have teeter-totters? That's what we call them. I think there's another name for them somewhere else. It's that plank that the kids sit on one end, you know, and then the kid sits on the other end, and then it goes like this, you know. I think this is a time of, like I said with the astrology, of closing out the old, and with Neptune and Aries, it's starting a brand new cycle. I keep expecting the Fool to show up, but he hasn't. But the Hanged Man makes sense because of all the Pisces energy. I think it's about closing out and trying to decide, what do I keep? What do I let go of? I'm going to move on. I don't know exactly when, possibly not right at the moment, and yet it's coming. I can feel it. It's imminent. But in the meantime, I have to establish my sense of self-identity and feel comfortable with what I have and realize I have enough to be going forward with. I have to lance the boil to heal my wounds from the past so that I can move ahead. And let me show you the shadow cards I drew. And have you noticed, if you watch my channel, how many times do I draw shadow cards that are in the reading. Well, it happened again. Here's the Eight of Wands again. So we get 2 Eight of Wands. It's also a shadow energy, which tells me that you may be wanting to move, but it's not quite time to move, because she's going in an opposite direction from the birds. She wants to be moving so quickly, she doesn't even know where she's going yet. And I also got this message because of the Six of Cups and the Eight of Cups. Don't forget that if you do have things that you're leaving behind, don't forget that even though you move away, you can take them with you. Let's say you've lost someone, or you've had a breakup, or whatever. Whatever love that you carry it with you no matter where you go. So it doesn't mean you have to stay stuck in one spot like the Hanged Man, or sitting on the rocks like the Six of Cups. You can move forward and take it with you. You know, if you lost a loved one, it's really hard, but you don't have to stay in the same place, even though their memory seems like it's stuck in one place. It isn't. They go with you. And again, she's I cut my finger today. She's going in the wrong direction, so don't move too quickly, I think is the message there. And then I get another one that was in our reading. I get another Six of Cups as a shadow reading. So it's like, yeah, you're being nostalgic for an old love, but don't get stuck there. Don't get stuck there. And again, I'm getting the message of, you know, this is like forever. You can take it with you. And, you know, we got the full moon here. Now, this is is that, let's see, I always get my moons mixed up. That's a waxing crescent moon, but it kind of looks full because of the light. I was thinking we had a full moon here somewhere, but no, we don't. We don't. But anyway, we just had the full moon in Scorpio. I think this is telling us, again, you know, don't let this hold you back. It's something from the past. Don't let it hold you back, and remember that you can take it with you. You don't have to forget it. You can carry it in your heart forever. Anyway. Okay, so there's that. Then I just wanted to show you quickly the bottom of the deck I normally don't look at. This time I wanted to. We got the moon, which tells me that we're in some very emotional territory here. Yeah, things can be a little confusing. So, you know, I wouldn't rush right out. Maybe that's why we get the Four of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles. It's like saying, you know, part of you just wants to rush forward and start something new. And that's fine, but use some caution here with the Pentacles. Do some assessment. Do some, you know, don't give everything away all at once. You're not quite ready for that. Then I drew 2 oracle cards, and then I have a couple fairy cards. I know, I kind of went overboard because I was really kind of stymied. I was like, what? This is just all over the place. Mending, and I'm going to read from the book just a few sentences, and orphaned. Because there's always something in here that I miss. Okay, so mending is forgiveness, making amends, healing after arguments. I'm also saying healing after a loss. Each time we are hurt and allow the hurt to pass through us without understanding and integration, we accumulate an unwanted burden. This keeps us chained to the very things we need to heal, the pain, the memories, the echoes of resentments, and the arguments that we rehearse over and over. Now is the time for mending rifts, healing wounds, and letting go of the old hurts in order to reclaim your power. Set yourself free. Yes. Heartbreak is a strange healer of souls. Loss allows us to see ourselves as part of a larger scheme, opening up to sympathy, empathy, and dependence on others in the moment when we can't hold ourselves together. Pain and suffering are part of life, and none of us will be immune to it. Can you view this loss, this pain, this dissonance as a way back to source? Let your sorrow break your heart wide open. 3 of Swords. You will never be left behind. You are loved, now more than ever, by Spirit, who does not want you to feel alone. One day you will look back and know this truth. That's very important. I think that's the key here. And then orphan says a sense of loss, an identity crisis, the need to belong, uncertainty about your place, no man is an island, blah, blah, blah. It's time to move on. Then it says the shadow side of this card speaks to the essence of abandonment. Perhaps you feel a need to remain apart because intimacy is too threatening. You will not be abandoned by the world if you claim yourself as whole. That's the 9 of Pentacles. You are enough, you know, in and of yourself. Don't abandon yourself. You can connect to others in a healthy way once you recognize your patterns and consciously choose to interrupt them. Life wants to love you. Let it. So these two cards are very similar, oddly. I wouldn't have thought that till I read the book, Mending an Orphan. So, okay. And then I'm going to sum this up, but just quickly I'll show you the fairy cards that I drew. We get the Queen of Laughter. Let some joy in. And the Challenge. I'm going to read briefly from the Challenge. But I think the takeaway here is that we are moving from an old cycle. That's the Pisces. It's been going on for a while. And we're heading for something new. But it's about who you are, what you learned from the loss, and what you're going to take forward and what you're going to leave behind. Because the challenge is self-criticism, obstruction, and go for it. Okay, this fairy stands before you as you set off on your journey. She bars the way and demands an answer to her challenge. She asks you to be brave. She is testing you. Don't give in. Stand up to her and she will gladly step aside and let you pass. Ask yourself this question. Are you up to the challenge of a new adventure, or are you too self-critical to attempt it? That's very interesting. The challenge asks you to step up to the mark and do whatever is being asked of you. Don't let self-criticism get in the way. If you're thinking about beginning a new relationship or venture, but the voice in your head keeps whispering that you're just not good enough, remember that this is a challenge. You are being tested, so go for it, and you'll be surprised at how much you can achieve. Okay, so, well, I would say that the wand cards here are telling you to go for it. And to get out of your doldrums here and leave something behind. And again, if it's something you truly love, it goes with you. It always goes with you. And, you know, I almost feel like this bottom row is like a shadow thing saying, don't get stuck here. And yet it can also be having faith that things will move when they're ready. I think it's coming up. I just think we have a little more to get through, but the wheel is turning and new information is coming in, new momentum is coming in, and there's just a little bit more healing to do. You can heal as you're planning, you can heal as you're moving forward. You don't have to stay here, but if you are, don't worry about it, because there's a reason for it, and you just keep having faith. I mean, it's a very strange reading. I admit that, and I hope that it makes sense. It's kind of a roller coaster, and I just feel like we might be feeling that way right now because we're in an interim space right now where things are changing. So, so there you have it. That's the best I can do with these cards. Okay, please leave me a comment. Let me know how this resonates, and if you have any ideas about it, I would appreciate it. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. I always have trouble with that word. And I will talk to you later. Blessings. Good night. Oh, and I did this on May 14th, 2025. Good night.